Hey, it's Alex from the Things We've Seen. Just putting this in before the episode that you're about to listen to, just to let you know, we are sorry for some of the technical difficulties you've experienced with us lately and some of the delays in episodes and whatnot. I just moved, which you'll hear about a little bit in the episode you're about to listen to. I had just moved. We recorded that episode the day after I moved. Things are a little funky. We lost the video from that episode. Something weird happened with my memory card and whatnot. So lost video for that episode. Things have been a little hectic for me. We appreciate you guys sticking with us, dealing with the technical difficulties, dealing with the delays in some of these episodes. We're going to be back to normal really soon. Anyways, enjoy the episode, and thanks for hanging with us.
Hi, my name is Clayton.
And I'm Alex.
And I'm Bud Dwyer, and these are the things we've seen.
So, Bud. What's wrong? Do you actually want to do that? Because I can redo that. We can redo that.
No, we can keep that.
Oh, okay.
I think it should just be that.
No, I mean like in one smooth motion.
No, I kind of liked it where it was delayed.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
Dude. All right.
Made me feel good.
Well, Bud slash Zach.
Yeah.
Slash Gajda.
Welcome. Gajda.
That's your name.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks.
It's
Thanks for coming to hang out.
Amazing to finally see you after 1,000 years.
Yeah. I think it was since Hardcore Fest 2.
Yeah. Yeah. Like one of the millions of hardcore fests that
Yeah.
I lost track of.
Yeah, because I remember it was, you were playing with Delinquent Youth.
Yep.
I was doing Defeatism. And we played the second day, and that's actually the day I met you.
Yeah, that was the day we met.
Yeah.
You and I were just hanging out at a buddy's house
Yeah.
That poster
before the
was-
show.
That poster was green. I kind of remember now.
Yeah, that was the green one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Or no, that was the first year that was green, wasn't it?
Was it?
I can't remember.
I have the poster somewhere at my house.
I
and
do
don't
too.
remember.
So, but
It was green or red.
anyways,
Christmas.
you
in
made the
July.
long drive. You're
Yeah.
here, and
And we ate some
And welcome.
delicious Domino's pizza. Please give us all your money.
welcome to the temporary. Yeah. So if you've been paying attention to any of the shows, this is not the normal setting.
Not at all. This wasn't even the plan for today. It's just kind of been a hectic day.
Alex recently has moved.
As of the day before recording this.
Yes.
So literally yesterday I moved.
I was helping him move beds and cabinets. And,
All kinds of shit.
yeah. So
So this is not our normal setup for the permanent spot. This is just what we had to do for today. So it's gonna look a little funny, but
we appreciate your patience.
a couple of boys in a bedroom, you know.
A couple of men.
So, speaking of, starting off with something a little spicy about your bedroom, sir. You've got Zach
Yes.
here.
Yes, I do.
Hey, this
That's
is not the first
spicy
time
thing.
we've been in bed together.
It's crazy. That's true. We've got a handful of times now.
Yeah, full intercourse.
I don't
I
remember
looked away at
those.
the wrong time. Wow.
I should remember that
Yeah.
because
It wasn't very memorable.
well, that's not true. Well, apparently it is, but I didn't mean for it to not be.
So, Wikipedia fact or fiction, your name is actually Zachary Uriah Heep Gajda.
That's true, actually.
True. Nice. Well,
Yeah, I was
glad we
actually-
can confirm that.
Yeah, Dad's super big Uriah Heep fan. I did change it later in life. My middle name is now Steven.
Fair enough.
I thought it'd be more marketable.
I don't think it is.
Well, that and the copyright.
Yeah.
Who cares about that?
There was someone else named Uriah Heep
Yeah.
before me.
I just have an NDA. I can't like fully talk about that. So.
Can we break that right now?
Yeah. So I'm getting sued later.
That's fine. You got money.
Yeah.
Like what? Like $20 is all you're gonna get sued?
Yeah. Like 30.
Can't do that.
$20, you're getting sued. You have NDAs. I mean,
What's
there-
next?
what is-
AIDS 2?
wow.
Yeah.
Call back.
Yeah, actually.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So you're in the area because, so we should backtrack. You're a part of a group now Elk Startled by Thunder.
Yeah.
And really quick before we get into that name come about.
So Nathan actually came up with it. He's our drummer and one of our vocalists because they started a band, I think like 2016, 2015. I could be wrong on that. But I knew about them because we all used to work at the college radio station together in Stevens Point. When I was doing my first year of college there, and I met Bailey and Nathan. Bailey being our guitarist and other vocalist. And then I met Atticus actually a few years later, but they were all in the band before I was. And Nathan came up with it, and he tells us the story a lot better than I do. But apparently I can't remember where he was, but he said that it was like the middle of a thunderstorm, and he saw like an elk get like scared by thunder. And his thought process was like, wow, they're just like us.
What a sick name for a band.
Yeah.
So the first interaction I ever had with Nathan was when I stayed in your guys' apartment. The very first time I technically met him, I was asleep, and I woke up to him opening the door and hitting my head, and I went, huh?
Yeah.
Oh. And then I went back to sleep, and he was like, oh shit, sorry. He's like, I didn't know anyone was next to the door.
He's so funny.
If you got time, you need to go back and edit and put the huh.
I should.
Like
No,
something.
it was a funny time, though.
So I don't know if you know this, but if you YouTube Elk Startled by Thunder, you'll get a couple, like, you'll actually get like your songs. But the best part is like after you scroll down just a tiny bit, like maybe 2 or 3 after like where the songs stop, you'll get this video called 12 Bear Attacks Gone Wrong.
It's actually the name of our next album.
Dude, that's amazing.
That's
you
a
should
hard
actually do
album.
the 12 Bear Attacks Gone Wrong. And it have to be 12 songs.
The last song, you just die. You're all just screaming in agony.
I mean, we kind of do that on our normal songs.
I like
that
it.
sounds like one of the Trite songs.
Yeah.
Straight Edge Acid Trip.
Yeah, dude.
Except Elk Startled by Thunder is a real band.
12 songs, and it has to be a concept album about the documentary Grizzly Man.
Yeah, dude.
I don't know if you've ever seen Grizzly Man, but that is a wild trip.
Yeah, isn't that
should
the
do
dude
that.
who like was like, oh, I can go
Yeah.
camping with bears?
Timothy Treadwell, who was like, I can hang out with all these bears and it'll be just fine. Oh, by the way, it's going to eat me.
And he gets fucking mauled to death.
That's what you get for hanging out with bears. Was that like the first bear attack
It's
going wrong?
a bear.
That was the first bear attack in human history, actually.
Little Bear really taught me wrong then, because I thought they were pretty chill. Turns out they're not.
It's like that Mitch Hedberg joke where he's like, Smokey, is it Smokey? Like Smokey is way more intense in person or something like that.
Dude, Smokey would kick your ass.
Yeah. You don't fuck around.
So obviously, Elk Startled by Thunder is not your first band.
No.
You played in what, like 100?
Yeah, so first band I played in that like did anything was Teenagers.
And that's tech. No, I never mind. I didn't meet you during Teenagers.
No, because I was Defeatism when I finally met you.
That's right.
Met Clay.
I met
around that
you
time.
with teenagers,
Yeah, because we played American Zero's
Yes.
release show.
Yeah, that
which
was 2013, 2014.
I think it was 2014.
2014. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Because we opened and then Widow played, who
Dude.
became Dark Complex.
Yep.
And then Left Behind played.
Yep.
And then you guys.
What the fuck?
Stack show.
Yeah, you
Man.
missed some shit.
Yeah, that was a
I
sick
still
show.
I still have my Widow like seahorse tank top too.
Oh,
So
nice.
it's one of the sickest things that I have.
That's so tragic for me because that was like 2 years before I started going to shows.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
like right before Widow put out their EP, and Left Behind I think only had like one EP out at the time.
Man, Left Behind's one of my favorite bands.
Yeah, it was sick.
One time we played in West Virginia and one of their members was at our show.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
No one
'cause
told
they're
me until
from
after.
aren't
Yeah.
Should we special guest? Should we special guest socks?
Yeah, fuck it. Let
So-
the cat in.
Yeah, yeah,
Keep
yeah.
hearing
We're
her
gonna
yelling out
bring on
there.
a special guest here.
Yeah, this is my cat. Her name's Socks. She's kind of a little bitch. Come here, kitty kitty. Hey, sweetie. You want to say
Because
something?
I can hear her meowing, and I was like,
You want to say something to the mic? No, you gotta talk to the mic.
"This is such an off-the-wall episode." By the way,
Yeah, this is really really unhinged.
You were witnessing history, Zach.
This is the first time we've had a cat on.
Yeah.
Screaming.
Yeah, she's a little feisty sometimes.
Come here, baby.
She said, "What's up, bitch?"
But yeah, I think that was the first day I met you
So
too.
yeah, teenagers, and then you said, yeah, it was probably. And back in that time period, I think I had tunnel vision. So
yeah.
if I seemed like I was really off, it's because I saved all of my like performance, if you will, for like the stage. So it was just exert as much energy as I could into the show, and then afterwards I was just like, I think I was on autopilot. Like I think it was like with you too, even before the show probably.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the first time I actually met you.
Yeah.
Because like we've kind of talked about it, but I realized it was definitely before what we had talked about on here before.
Because I always feel like every time someone talks to me or like approaches me, like I do actually genuinely want to like be with, you know, around people and talk
Right.
and stuff like that, and you know, pick their brains, because I like to think that like sampling from other people could make me a better person too. You know?
I do remember the time I bought you a vegan cookbook, though.
A what?
A vegan cookbook.
You did?
I used to work at Barnes & Noble.
Oh, was
and I
it?
got,
Was
like,
it the Thug Kitchen cookbook?
Yeah, that's what it was.
Dude, I still have that.
Hell yeah. I was like, this man needs
Then
this.
they discontinued it.
Yeah, like right after.
Yeah.
That's the best part about that. Where's
Dude,
my
yeah,
phone?
I still have that actually.
Yeah.
I'm so glad. Because we should just do a whole episode of you cooking everything in that book.
They're like, that'd be a nice little like extra, the things we've cooked.
Yeah.
Kind of like
Ooh.
thing.
I know. So already.
Dude, Patreon.
You know what? Then we can start, you know, yes, Patreon for that, by the
There
way.
you go.
Save, Control S. So, but yeah, like make a comment on whether it's Spotify or YouTube if you think we should do a cooking portion of this.
I think it'd be kind of fun.
And then we
I think
can-
it'd be really silly.
I would love to try and get Joe Gao on.
Are you hungry?
Are you hungry? In all seriousness, shout out Joe Gao.
Dude,
Like,
shout
you
out
are
Joe
the
Gao.
real king.
I'm so glad that this is the third episode in a row that we've talked about Joe Gao.
Are you aware of who Joe Gao is?
don't know who that
you
is,
don't know
no.
who Joe Gao? Oh my god.
We'll do a very brief,
Yeah.
since we've talked about him, this would be the third time.
Yeah,
Maybe,
yeah.
No, this might be the fourth time.
It's possible it's the third or fourth. It's third or fourth. So
Yeah.
Joe Gao used to be the chancellor for the university in lacrosse, the UWL lacrosse.
Which actually, I think he might be chancellor again.
If he's reinstated, good for him.
Oh, is it that dude with the OnlyFans?
Yes.
Yeah, I heard about him. I didn't know his name though.
Yeah, Joe Gao. He and his wife were consensually having sex with each other.
Good for them.
Yeah, I mean, if you're in your,
And they
like,
consensually cooked together.
yeah, 50s and 60s. And by the way, bringing on genuine, actual, like adult film stars, male and female, and
For
theys and
education.
thems. Yeah, it's like fucking amazing. You know, like this is all done by the book, and they're like, "Oh, get out of here, bro."
Being a little too naughty.
Yeah, too naughty.
You know, because everyone at this college is 18 and up, so we're going to need you to stop doing that.
But anyways, so that's the short and brief of it. But we have a friend who deep dove into some of those videos.
Yeah.
And it's got some weird shit, man.
Yeah, he was hungry.
There's weird shit, and then there's like, this is a bit much for me. You know?
Oh, man.
Cool.
But yeah, so I mean, you've been playing shows since what, 2014-ish then? If
Yeah.
Teenagers was your first band?
Yeah, first band that did anything. Technically, I was in a band called, get this name, Death Certificate for a Beauty Queen.
Dude.
When we were like 15.
Dude, okay.
That's a lot of
We had
syllables.
one practice.
Yeah.
We never wrote any music. It was bad.
Was it a Death Cab for Cutie cover band?
No, we were trying to be deathcore.
I was gonna
Oh,
say,
wow.
Yeah.
straight on the line of like, you could have easily, like, I feel like you just merged Death Cab for Cutie and I Killed the Prom Queen right together.
So, funny fact about that, the name is the title of I Killed the Prom Queen song.
I know. I was like, I knew it was Death Cab, and I was like, I'm waiting for this. And yes.
Yeah. That was our favorite band at the time. It was me and Nick Becker and Evan Jordan from Quiet Kind.
Oh, shit, yeah.
I know those guys.
We never did anything.
Love
It
y'all.
wasn't even a real.
I miss Nick and Evan.
Yeah.
I see Evan's posts all the time. He's got lovely long hair.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
Nick
feel
is
like I
just
see Nick
jacked as
every once in a
shit.
while.
Yeah, he is.
I see Nick every once in a while.
Dude, yeah, he looks like he could just beat the piss out of you.
Probably.
Yeah, but he's too nice.
Yeah.
He wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Nick's a little sweetie.
Yeah, then after that, I was in a deathcore band that recorded 2 songs and never released any of them. And then I was in Defeatism.
And that's when we met.
That's when I met you and
Which
Tristan and
was
all
like
those.
kind of a continuation of Teenagers.
Yeah, because it was Mark and Dustin and Riggs from Teenagers, and then I played bass, and then a lot of the Defeatism songs are actually just old Teenager songs that we never used.
Which I personally liked a lot.
Thank you. I didn't write.
I
any
was a
of
fan.
them.
I still have a Defeatism shirt somewhere,
Oh
actually.
yeah.
Yeah.
With the skeletons and stuff.
Yeah, the beige one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shirt was hard.
Yeah, it was.
Honestly, one of the coolest shirts.
Yeah, and then and then Cody was our drummer. He played in Second and Archer for a long time.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then after that I did Claim Defeat for a bit. Started as just like fill in, and then went like full time later on. And
then you
did Elk.
said,
So
I gotta do other things.
Yeah.
So then did you know the Elk Boys while you were in Claim Defeat then?
Yeah, because I've known Bailey and Nathan, like I said, since college.
Okay.
And I was actually living with Bailey at the time I was in Claim Defeat.
Yeah.
Which we still live together now.
Because when we did that show at your old apartment, you weren't even playing with them yet.
Yeah.
That was a dude that you were telling us was your brother that wasn't your brother.
Yeah, Oscar.
Yeah, that's right.
Shout out to Oscar.
Dude,
I love
shout
him.
out
It's his
Oscar.
birthday today.
Whoa!
Oh,
Yeah.
happy birthday,
Happy birthday, Oscar.
There you go,
You
Oscar.
rapscallion.
Yeah. So,
Post this and tag him in it.
yeah. Elk has like 4 fill-in bassists, like, because Atticus works a lot, because he's got like 2 jobs, so sometimes he can't make it. So yeah, it's
Quit your
usually-
jobs, live in a hole.
Yeah, it's real punk.
Quit your 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Dog. You dog. Get some Kahlua and heroin.
Yeah, dude. But yeah, and then Ben, like Johnny Descent Ben, he fills in for bass a lot. He actually just did last night when we played Milwaukee.
Oh man, you should have just dragged him with today.
Yeah, he had like family stuff he had to do too, so.
Whatever.
But he does want to come on.
Yeah, he
eventually,
does.
So, 'cause he,
I love him.
yeah, he's a nice boy.
I remember
make
the
that
first
happen.
time I met him, and he was my favorite act
Was
from
it
the
a
entire day. It was at a Danger
Dangerfest
Fest.
show.
I don't remember what year it was. Probably 2017.
That sounds about right, because Dangerfest
It was a winter
around
one.
that time. Yeah, that sounds right.
Because then we ended up being stuck in Marshfield because there was a literal blizzard.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. Because then I went to buy swim trunks at Walmart, and my bank said, that seems sketchy. You're not going to do that.
It's only like an hour away from where you
I
live.
know. I was like, damn, I'm just trying to go swimming.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
So I've just been doing elk lately. I kind of like, I always tell them I joined to like light a fire under their ass. 'Cause, like, I've always been like a big fan of them, like especially like as people, but then like music wise as well. I just like hated seeing that they weren't recording and like weren't like playing
Because you
more
guys
shows.
just put out an album.
Yeah, so like August of last year, we put out a new EP.
Because then y'all came to my old place.
Yeah.
And you took a photo of me.
Yeah, you're on the back of our album.
Dang right. Where's my money?
I gotta go.
It's okay. I'll expect
So
a
wait-
check eventually.
Wait, that's the one that came out, the recent EP that you just guys
Yep.
released?
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the name of that? Because I keep seeing the name on the side.
It's overdue.
Overdue. Okay, I couldn't see the U,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, I actually all those letters on that album are taken from like different bands that we like. Logo.
dude, that's
Oh,
actually
that's cool.
sick.
Yeah, it's like the O is from Orchid, the V is Violent Femmes, the E is Typo Negative, the R is Rage Against the Machine, D is Dead Kennedys,
That makes so much sense now.
the U is Shy Halud, and then the last E is Real Big Fish.
That's so sick.
That's
Yeah.
incredible.
That's actually really cool. So the song titles, Jerk Clearner.
Yeah.
Like I actually love first of all love the song, but I think I like the name just a tiny bit more. So like, how did that idea?
Oh,
like,
Bailey's gonna love that. That's
Sorry.
one of his songs. Yeah. He's I think it's like a BoJack Horseman reference. I've never seen the
it's
show,
like
but
that's the
audio clip
the
at
audio
the
in the beginning.
beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard that and I'm like, wait, that's what's his face from BoJack.
yeah,
So-
yeah, it's one of Bailey's favorite shows.
Dude, it's such an underrated show. It's great. And then the song that really kind of made me like turn my wheels in my head. What was it? Airdrop Wolves
Oh yeah,
or something like that. And that's the one where I was like, if 68 announces a tour, I expect you guys to fully be on there. Just saying.
Dude, I feel like it would actually happen. They're pretty cool about just being like, all right.
Yeah,
Well, it's like no offense to 68, but like it's very 68 vibes.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know? Like I love listening to that and being like, yep, this has to be at like a Josh Scoggins show. So
they 68 actually played in Stevens Point, I think.
Yeah,
2
wasn't
years
that
ago or 3 years ago? It was one of the Jammin' in July shows.
Yeah, that's what it was. I remember because I wanted to go specifically to see 68, and then I couldn't go.
yeah,
Because it was always like around my birthday.
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, oh, fuck it, I'll go for that. And
I was
then
in the same
just
boat
didn't.
actually.
Yeah,
Was that the last Jam in July that happened?
I can't remember another one after that.
Because the year before that, the big band was Within Destruction, I think.
I think so.
So yeah, I think 68 did the last Jam in July.
Because I think, 68 was the last one that I was here for. Because before that, I was down south.
That's right. You were living in old Texas for a little
Yeah.
while there.
Oh, you lived in Texas, huh?
Yeah, for like 9 years.
No shit.
Yeah, I went to high school down there.
What city?
Houston.
Okay.
Specifically, like Porter. I was where I went to high school, which is like a suburb on the northeast side. And then I moved to Humble, which is another suburb.
I always wanted to visit Houston, but never got down that far. We visited, what is it?
Probably Dallas. Or
Yeah, it was close to Dallas, so Fort Worth. We
Worth, yeah.
visited Fort Worth.
the same city.
And then I love Austin. I've been down in that area a couple times.
Yeah, Austin's really sick.
Some of the best food I've ever had.
Yeah. Have you been to like the Riverwalk at all?
No, but I want to.
It's amazing.
So
You know, I just remembered a funny story between you and I. So
get ready, folks. This is a things we've seen official.
This really isn't that crazy, but I just remembered how silly it was. So when Misadventures was recording our first EP with David Moon,
D Moon. love
D
that boy.
Moon, we it was like the first or second night we were there or something, because I think we were there for 3 days,
That sounds right.
something like that. So it was like the first or second night. We went to visit you because you were living with your grandparents.
Yep.
So that was Wausau we went to because we were in Merrill.
Yeah.
'Cause
No,
we
I was
all-
living with my dad at the time.
Or yeah, you were with your dad.
Yeah.
And we went because we were going to get the Tolex to
Oh, yeah,
like
the purple
redo the one
Tolex.
cab we had
Yep.
that had that already. And also I think we were going to get Politos or something. But then we went over to your place afterwards, and I just remember you were like, "You want some apple pie?" And I was like, "Yeah, I like apple pie." And you were like, "It's moonshine."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh."
I didn't know you guys were Edge at the time, so I
Yeah.
was like just trying to be a good host. Like,
And I was like-
"Hey, I made all this like moonshine. Do you guys want any?"
I
And
was
you're like,
also-
"We're underage."
Underage. We don't drink. Like Tristan and I are a couple of edgemen.
Yeah.
And it was really funny though, because
felt
I
bad.
remember being really, really bummed that there wasn't actual apple pie. 'Cause, like, I was just like, oh man, this guy's offering me free apple pie. And then you were like, yeah, it's moonshine. And I was like,
I felt so bad afterwards. 'cause,
yeah, I hope
like,
you felt like a piece of
If I knew you were straight edge, I wouldn't have said it. But
No, it would have
I
been
didn't
funnier
know.
if you knew. It would have been way funnier if you
I've
knew.
had moments like that before. Like there was a band way back in the day called Catalepsy.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And they used to stay like I made friends with a few of those guys, and because I saw their music video on MTV2 back in Washington before
Okay.
I moved, and then I move out here and like I see their name on like a show poster, and I was like, oh, I have to go see. If they're like literally 5 minutes down the road, I have to go, and I did, and I volunteered to like help move their stuff and whatever. So every time they come through town, they get a hold of me and be like, oh, dude, let's let's hang out and like give them a place to stay and whatnot, and then. I just remember they remember the non-edge version of me, which
man.
I just drank. I never did anything crazy. I've never like even smoked weed, obviously, but I used to just drink, and so they know that version of me. But then they also know the sober version of me. I think at one point one of them forgot, and they just come up to me like, hey, you want a bump? And I was like, yeah. One of these. And they're like, no, dude, you want a bump? And I was like, oh, no, dude, I'm good.
I'll pass.
So I was like, this is my apple pie,
Oh yeah, there was before we move to the next thing, another story about the little dust we snort. We were in New Jersey like 4 or 5 years ago, and we were outside, and it's like 1 or 2 a.m. and this dude's out there, really weird guy, And he's just like talking to me because like Christian and I were loading the van and stuff. And he's like, "You guys want some nachos?" And I was like, "No, man, I'm good." And like, I don't want to take food from this random dude on the street. But hold on. And he's like, "You sure, man?" He's like, "I put Coke on it." And I was like, and I was like, "No, I'm good." And I was like, all you, man, I'm good.
I mean, like, I'm not versed in drug use, but like, I feel like you shouldn't eat cocaine, probably.
We know a guy we could ask.
Yeah, I mean, the conversations I've had with my new coworker, awesome dude. Like,
Yeah, he's
fantastic
great.
dude. And it's one of those like, I've never done coke. I need to ask you all these questions about coke, and I'm getting a lot of really interesting answers. I guess you can. It's just not as.
Okay.
Like, it sounds like it doesn't do much.
It doesn't do as much. Yeah,
Imagine
like
the stomach acid probably.
yeah. It's,
Yeah.
So I heard if you get water on it, it just neutralizes it. So you can't do it as like a little. Like,
more you
Kool-Aid
know.
mixer or
Fucking,
something like
the
that.
more you
So,
know, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, if I
Yeah.
ever start a cocaine habit, that's good to know.
Yeah, the other day I threatened a coworker of mine because he was just like fucking with me, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna develop a crippling crack cocaine addiction, and then when I die, it's just gonna say that it was your fault. That's how
Hell
you
yeah,
get
dude.
them.
Hover it over their head forever.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
So-
speaking of drugs,
So yes, no, that's a great segue to the next question. No, it's have nothing to do with the next question. The one that I have is we covered your first band. So when was the first time you ever picked up an instrument?
So
and what was your first instrument?
my first instrument was piano.
What?
Yeah, my
a
grandma
good answer.
made me take piano lessons when I was in like elementary school, and I hated it.
I was about to say, was it like one of those situations where you hated it, but you came back to like love music later on?
Yeah, it was only because I was forced to do it. Like if
I
I'd
feel like
like
that's why most kids like growing up, they're like, "Oh, I don't want to do it because I was forced
exactly,
to do it."
yeah, I don't
Yeah.
like being told what to do.
Yeah.
You know, so like
Yeah.
That's why when I told you
piano.
to park in the parking lot, you said, "No, I'm going to park on the
I
street."
did. Yeah, I did piano for like 6 years, which it did help a lot because I learned to read music and get like both hands involved at the same time. But then I got a bass when I was like 10,
Oh, cool.
and that was the first like instrument I wanted to play.
Was that like an actual full scale? Like,
Yeah.
like, so you were.
Actually, I still have that bass.
Really?
It was a Epiphone Thunderbird. It's like
Hell
a Starburst
yes,
one,
dude.
or Sunburst, not Starburst.
Dude,
the
dude, you
candy.
know what?
What flavor?
Now you have dude. Now you have to get a Starburst. Like, you know what we can do is we can just like resin a bunch
Resin a
of
bunch of
Starbursts.
Yeah,
rappers.
dude, just the pink ones though. Just the best one.
Whoa, hold on. You don't.
I
fuck
said what I
with,
said.
You don't fuck with the yellow?
Yeah, it was all right.
Yellow's
I'll
all
give you
right.
that. I'll
But
give you
I'm
that.
gonna be on his side because if pink is strawberry, then I'm all on strawberry.
I'm just saying, yellow and orange.
Orange is good.
Goddamn
I just
right,
don't
it's
fuck with
good.
the red ones.
It's okay.
Yeah,
so
they're pretty okay.
This is just like the Nick Dearman Starburst tier. It's like the Nick Dearman tier list with Metallica, but for me, it's Starburst. They're all in the S tier, but pink is like the first on the S tier.
Do you want to hear my Metallica fucking tier
yes.
list?
Yeah, let's do it. Why not?
Let's just jump straight the fuck in.
Nick, I love you to death, but it's Ride the Lightning above, and everything else is F tier.
Ooh.
I'm just kidding.
I was gonna be like, man, I don't think I agree.
No,
I
I'm
think,
just.
I think we just
fucking
found our
around.
clickbait.
I'm kidding. Ride the Lightning is S tier for me, but everything else is like A or B.
Okay,
That's fair.
actually fair.
Yeah.
So, even Lulu.
That one's like S plus.
Ooh,
Shut the fuck up.
that is the hottest take.
How do you? So,
I haven't listened to Lulu. I'll be honest with you.
oh, see, I don't care.
I haven't listened to anything after Death Magnetic.
You haven't?
No,
Really?
72 seasons. You haven't yet?
haven't listened to it.
It's
It's
worth it.
great.
It's worth a shot.
Hardwired is great.
Can't be bothered.
You're wrong.
Yeah,
I'm just telling you.
fair.
No, so Nick and Clay and I all love Load and Reload.
Yeah.
Those
Notoriously
were some of the
underrated
first ones
albums.
I heard, but like my dad was like super into those albums when I was a kid, and I just got like way overplayed at our
Okay,
house,
that's
so I'm
fair.
just like kind of over them. It's, especially the Black Album too.
I could see that.
Enter Sandman, like
Yeah.
it's just on the radio too.
That
I personally would be fine never hearing that song again, but if it does
Yeah.
come on, I'm like, all right, it's still cool.
It's a good song. Don't get me wrong. It's just like overexposure.
Yeah.
it's like our generation's what is it, Stairway to Heaven or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my Stairway to Heaven, my personal Stairway to Heaven, because like there's always those stickers in guitar shops that are like no stairway.
Yeah.
And I asked my dad one time, why does it say no stairway? He goes, if you have listened to or have been forced to listen to Stairway to Heaven as much as we did when we were kids, you would understand. So
Yeah.
my personal Stairway to Heaven is Chop Suey from System of a Down.
Yeah.
I can't stand to listen to that song anymore.
I love that song, but I get it. It's on all the time.
I can't do it.
For me, it was one of those that was the socially acceptable song for everyone in my high school. Like, if you were not a metalhead, you liked System of a Down and that particular song. I was like, all right, it's great that it's like merging all these like people together, but oh my god, like I'm hearing it way too many fucking times. And then I'm trying to think of what the 2010s chop suey would be. Stairway.
Probably Radioactive.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
fair. That's a
That's
good
a
song
good
is
answer.
Everywhere.
That's a very good
and
answer.
it's still like
still
you
playing.
can't get rid of it.
Yeah.
It doesn't go away.
Because, and I will blame Our Last Night on this too, because then they did their version.
You know, if it were up to me,
I love cover band.
Anyway,
Does that
here's
band
this,
have original music?
anyway, here's the song this other guy wrote.
if it were up to me, none of them would be allowed to have hands or vocal cords.
Okay, I was gonna say the singer
Or limbs in general that they could use to play music because they need to
Are you
just
talking
knock
about
it
Imagine
off.
Dragons or Our Last Night?
Yes.
I mean, like, I don't like Imagine Dragons, but I respect them. They're doing what they love, I guess.
I mean, I remember when they popped off just because of Radioactive, but because they did an impromptu playthrough of that song on iPhones using GarageBand in a New York subway.
I didn't know that. No,
Yeah, because no one knew who they were yet, kind of a thing. Or I shouldn't say that, but they weren't
huge.
huge yet. And that happened, and I remember oh, that's kind of cool. Like they used GarageBand, and then you can't escape it now.
Yeah.
And it
I
drives
remember
me
watching
crazy.
the video for Radioactive, and then being like, oh, well, this is kind of a fun little novelty. And then it's like, because that was right around the time where the Oh Hey Clap core was
Yeah.
coming in, or what, I don't know, the Lumineers or whoever they are. So, Oh Hey Clap core. I just invented a term.
It's so fitting though that
Yeah.
I
It
knew
is.
what you were
It's
talking about.
accurate.
Yeah, you
I've
knew exactly
never
what I
heard
was
it.
talking about.
It's like early 2010s Tumblr,
Yeah,
Pinterest.
Yeah, like 21 Pilots, Imagine
Yeah.
Dragons, like that sort of shit.
like that's when I started realizing I'm like, and then that style died out. But then I was like, I was actually waiting for Imagine Dragons to die out, and then
Somehow they just haven't
never
died
happened,
out.
and I'm
like a real dragon. They
kind of
don't
bummed
die.
about it. So yeah.
But what were we talking about earlier?
Before we started talking shit about Imagine Dragons,
Oh,
we were talking
instruments.
about your instruments, your
Yeah.
first
Oh, I
instruments.
forgot
piano,
about that already.
then
I
you
was
got
still
your
thinking
bass.
about the drums.
Yeah, I started with bass. I played that for like 2 years, not well. And then my grandpa gave me a guitar.
Do you remember your first song you learned all the way through with whether it was bass or guitar?
On bass, it was Beat It
Nice.
by Michael Jackson. 'Cause
That's a good one.
it's a great bass line.
Yeah.
First guitar song I learned was Sonnet of the Wretched by Chelsea Grin.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's literally like so
Polar
opposite.
opposite spectrum.
Yeah, like deathcore is like how I learned how to play guitar.
That's actually really smart.
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking about it.
So like I didn't like play in a band that like played into standard tuning until I joined Elk like
Yeah.
a year ago.
So you guys playing
That's
standard?
wild.
We're in E flat standard.
E flat standard. That's so.
Yeah, we used to be in like just regular E standard, but then Bailey and Nathan would complain about their voices hurting, so we tuned down half a step just to get them in like a lower key, and it just gone a lot better.
So then, when you guys practice, is there like one central location that you guys all converge on? Obviously.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
then I guess what I should ask, because that's an obvious answer. Obviously,
Yeah.
you guys practice in the
The local
Duh.
RBs.
But like, are you
the
guys all
local
like really
RBs,
close
yeah.
to each other then?
Yeah, so me and Bailey like still live together. Like we share an apartment, and then Atticus is like 4 blocks from us, and then Nathan lives like in the same building as he used to.
Is that where you guys practice in?
Yeah,
still?
like right
in the room where I got hit in the head.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, wow. Yeah, that's our practice studio.
Hell yeah, that's actually a cool room.
Yeah, I love it. It's like super convenient, so it's like right downtown.
The only thing that sucks is there's a lot of stairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not as many as like the stair house, but like
That's true.
it's close.
They're pretty steep though.
Yeah, 'cause
I
it's,
remember
like-
being like, "Damn, this is kind of stupid."
Yeah, the building was built in like 1876. so,
Yeah,
like,
the
they're
toilet there sucked too.
Yeah, it does.
I did
They got
not.
a new one.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
they
good for
replaced
them.
it.
Good for them. Still no shower?
There's a shower. There always was a shower.
Oh, I
just-
didn't think there was at all.
Yeah, it's just the old landlords didn't want anyone using it, but new people bought the building and they opened it up.
Damn. That's badass. Is that why there's a new toilet?
Yeah.
Nice.
So on the subject of good appliances, bad appliances. Have you had a bad like show experience, like a place you'll never ever want to like play ever again?
Yeah, the Wisco in Madison, Wisconsin. I will never play there again.
Fair enough.
I've never been there.
It's like this bar. Apparently, they have new owners now, which like I'm sure they're cool now. But fucking, when I was 19, we played there with teenagers, and they kicked me out as soon as our set was done. Because like
because
you're
you're
underage, you got to get out of here. And I couldn't even like get my gear out. Like they wouldn't let me carry my amp out.
Oh, yeah, you and I talked about this because I remember
because we played there with it was us, Sweet Talk, which shout out Sweet Talk, you guys rule. And then a band called Through the Years, which is not around anymore, but half of them made Second and Archer. Fun fact.
Oh, okay.
But their guitarist was named Nelson, and he was also 19, and they kicked both of us out.
Wow.
And like, you ever see like Boy in the Striped Pajamas, like the movie?
I've seen bits and pieces.
Well,
I
there's
haven't
like
seen all
this
the way
one
through.
scene where it's like the kids are like on the opposite side of the fence talking to each other, and like that's how it felt.
I see.
That's so drastic.
Because our band was like behind the fence, and we were on the sidewalk outside the bar, like, grab my guitar.
Well, and I know I can understand the whole like mentality about like why a bar would want to like not be liable for like any
I get
shit
it.
happening. I get
But
it,
But I'm
technically,
still
you're
salty.
working.
at the same time, it's like kind of a dick move.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is that like the workaround is that you were technically working,
Yeah.
so it's a lot because you can be a bartender at 18.
Yeah.
Which
But
is
they still
funny.
That's a
just
really fair
out.
point.
Which
know what
I'm
you
sure
should
the
have
new
done?
owners are cool. Like, people have told me the new owners are dope, but
You know what you should have done?
pissed and shitted everywhere.
Yeah. I was just gonna tell you to just piss on the floor.
That's cool. I know you long enough to know what you're going to say.
Get out of me. Oh
But
man.
anyways, guitar.
Yeah. So you did you went from Michael Jackson straight into deathcore.
Yeah. My grandpa got me a 95 Mexican-made telly.
Nice.
I tuned it down to drop A, but I didn't know that like you're supposed to get like bigger
There-
gauge
yeah.
strings for it. So they're floppy as shit.
Yeah, been there, done that.
Yeah.
I think we've all done that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because my
Some people just don't stop doing that.
that's true.
my
Yeah.
Chelsea grin was corn because I had a
Oh,
six
yeah.
string. I'm like, I think I got a Guitar World magazine that was like, oh, learn how to play Got the Life, and I was like, oh my god, I have to because that's my favorite fucking song right now. And so it said in the transcription 7-string translated to 6-string, and I was like tuning my string down to like A,
Yeah.
and it starts getting like floppy, and I'm like. They do this, and
Yeah.
I completely oblivious. Like, oh, you're supposed to get bigger strings.
Yeah, string gauges. What are those?
I had no clue.
I only know about like these gauges.
Yeah.
I was about to touch your ears.
Yeah,
So,
guys.
yeah, then you mentioned you play in E flat standard right now, which we've mentioned in previous episodes is actually heavier than it's probably supposed to sound.
It's a great tuning. If it was up to me, we'd probably be in like D. I'm gonna get in there eventually.
So
I'm eventually gonna
D
turn
standard?
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm eventually gonna turn Elk into like a deathcore band. They don't know it yet.
You don't know it yet.
They just can't listen to this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't listen.
Hey, if you guys were listening, knock it off.
Turn it
Yeah.
off.
Stop.
We can
Go back.
We can do the Tim Allen Clayton
Yeah.
thing right now. So paywall
Paywall.
for the other members. No.
That's funny.
And true.
What was I gonna? I had a question like right after you went to D standard. So, oh yeah, it was talking about like who else you could play shows with. Like with a name like that, like the vision I get is like a very Mastodon kind of like looking like logo too. So I don't know. That's
Well, I like the logo you guys have been using now because you and I talked about that because you made that one.
Yeah, so I drew up like the very rough sketch, and then Mickey,
I need to revisit.
Bailey's partner, they like digitized it for me. And then another friend named Maddie, who plays in the band called Hollow Flowers, shout out. I'm just gonna shout out every Stevens Point band. by the
Do
end of
it.
the night.
Stevens Point rules.
Shout out every Stevens Point band so they can actually like come on here and talk with us. Too.
Dude, honest to God,
'Cause-
like, obviously, like Spreadthin has stuff that we're trying to do at some point yet, but like Stevens Point's just the new hometown for Spreadthin.
Hell yeah, dude.
Mostly because of you.
And your drummer's gonna live there soon.
That doesn't mean anything.
Okay.
Just because he's gonna live there doesn't mean anything.
Fair.
It's temporary. He's gonna come back to me.
No, he's not.
Yeah,
So
he is.
that's you. I
Yeah.
like that. I like that.
Yeah, I was very inspired by like 60s bands.
I was gonna say very Black Sabbathy.
Yeah, which is like
I thought it was
my
Scooby-Doo.
second favorite band. So
That's awesome. I
Yeah.
love that.
like very like MC5 was like the specific band I was going for, because that's like my favorite like proto-punk band.
Good, I'm already following it. That's a good sign.
That would have been way funnier if you weren't.
It'd be funnier if I didn't like the band. Like, oh, I'm just gonna really sneakily do this.
Socks looks offended right now. She's good now.
But well, yeah, my friend Maddie, she like traced it like Illustrator, and, like made it into a vector for us.
Hell yeah.
You know, I've been trying to do like all of our other designs and stuff. Like, I did all of our flyers. I did all the album artwork. I did, except like physically taking the picture of us to the front. That was our friend Tanner, who plays in a band called Wilted.
Also, Steven's playing band.
Can't remember,
Yeah,
did-
Nice.
he also
Did we play with
runs.
Wilted?
I don't know if you
At
guys
that
played
one-
with Wilted.
Wapaka show?
No, that was
Who am I thinking
the
of?
Alpaca show was Elms, you guys, Rig Time, and Dead Loss.
Okay, then I was thinking of Elms.
Yeah,
Because
Elms
Elms
is sick
rock.
too.
Dude, Elms is fucking
Elms
sick.
is fucking phenomenal. They're like
Incredible.
crazy doom metal from
Dude, it was
Warsaw.
nuts. Like, it was so cool. It was so loud. You could like feel it.
Yeah,
They were up there with rig time levels of loud.
yeah,
That's fucking loud.
Yeah,
yeah.
but they have one more member.
Yeah, because Aaron plays through like 4 amps at the same time with his
I would
guitar.
hate loading
It's
that in.
crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just not gonna do that.
Imagine they play at the warehouse. They're on their own, dude. I ain't helping.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so right now, like, I didn't even know if I don't even know if I paid attention to this. Are you now like just a guitar player or a bass player for?
I'm permanent guitar, but then
Okay.
I play bass if like Atticus can't make it or anything.
So then, if like, were you playing through like guitar wise? Are you just like a 2x12 or 4x12 or?
So I've got 2 different ones. For Elk, I use an orange 212.
Okay, still pretty heavy.
Yeah, and it's mostly just like for ease of use.
Yeah.
Like 212s are just way easier to carry around than anything else. Because I have like an old Randall 412 that like was like the main teenager's cab actually, and then I still have it and it sounds fucking incredible. It's just too fucking heavy and big to carry around.
Yeah,
But
I got rid of all my 412s because I'm like, I'm not carrying this.
Every now and then I think about getting rid of mine, and then I'm like, no.
It sounds so good though.
Dude, that one sounds awesome, and it looks cool. And I mean, it's not that heavy. This one's not that bad.
I'm just lazy.
No, I am too. I hate carrying that stupid thing. Like it. Yesterday, when we got when we got out of the trailer, I went, "Thank God this has wheels," because I ain't carrying it again. And I wheeled it into my garage, and that's
Yep.
where it's gonna sit.
That's awesome.
So if you want to rob me,
I do actually. Yeah.
okay, well I'll go open the garage for
Cool. Yeah. Right when I leave, I'm gonna take a few things from you.
you. There's only 2 things in there.
Some stuff from your house too.
Is it the pizza?
It's your child.
Dude. I love my kid, but goddamn,
I'm taking him.
that boy today, whew, he's having a tough day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just not feeling good.
Shout-
He's just a
shout
little
out-
fella.
Shout out Arlo.
Shout out Arlo.
Shout out
He's a
Arlo.
real one.
We
He's an
should-
OG.
We should make a straight edge shot for every time we say shout out during this episode.
Oh fuck! I forgot my Diet Coke downstairs.
And I'm out of whenever I was drinking that Sour Patch Kid
And I
drink.
slammed that
yeah.
bubbler like in the first like minute and a half of this.
I'm just a thirsty person.
Same.
I'm always like drinking like water or whatever.
Dude, you know what's really fucked up?
Elder abuse.
No,
Holy, you're not wrong. I mean,
I wasn't going to talk about that yet. I haven't
You're
had,
real.
I haven't had my greens from an unspecified brand.
Oh,
marijuana?
Yeah,
Cool.
but like the straight edge kind that makes
Oh,
your
yeah.
tummy feel better.
Oh, cool.
That I've shit 3 times in the last 24 hours since we moved here, and I have used both of our bathrooms, and I feel great about it.
So
But
happy for you.
huh?
I'm so happy for you.
Oh, I thought you said you did it before me, and I was like, how? You didn't get here till today. I was bummed I wasn't the first person to take a dump in this.
you weren't the first.
No.
Was this Jay?
No.
What?
I think it was my dad.
Oh man. Okay, you
He
know
was
what?
in there for a little bit.
That's fair. That's fair.
No, it's not. I'm paying rent.
He produced you. you are his behind the nuts.
That's actually him and I were talking about doing his episode.
Yeah.
And I can't wait for him to find out that we're calling it Behind the Nut because he's going to lose his mind. He's going to think it's so funny.
That's so okay. backtrack because I don't think Zach knows what we're talking about.
Backtrack? That band rules.
That
Dude,
band does
Backtrack
rule.
does rule.
Shout out Backtrack.
Shout out Backtrack. Shout out Long Island.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make Alex spend a lot more extra time editing this video and like just put kind of like a shout out counter up here.
We need to have a shout out counter. Counter. Sorry, I'm struggling today. And I've been thinking about this since the very first episode. I need to have a yawn counter for me.
Yeah,
because
for you.
Dude, I yawn
You are
so
a
much.
tired boy.
I'm not even tired. That's the problem. I just yawn.
He's just bored of us.
Yeah, I just hate you guys.
That's fair.
I just yawn so much, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, damn, I should probably be counting this.
I sit for 4 years with this whole idea, and you think it's boring?
Yeah. No.
Yeah,
That's why we're in my bedroom.
That's why it took me 4 years because yes, I thought it was boring too.
That's why we're doing this in my bedroom right now, so it'd make things a little more exciting.
If Aiden Dearman has made it this far, leave a comment
Shout out
Yeah,
Aiden.
because he'll shout out Aiden Dearman.
Yeah, shout out Aiden.
Because I saw him mention somewhere on one of our pages that he actually listens and watches these while he's kind of drifting off. So if you're still awake, leave a
Yeah.
comment about that too.
Yeah, let
So-
us know, and you have a
Shout
good
out.
little
And
sleep,
he
buddy.
needs to get his ass on the show as well because that's
Yeah.
it's a triple threat.
You know what?
I love that boy.
Yeah, right.
Let's get him on next month and celebrate 12 whole months of being sober from weed.
That's yeah. He just did
That's
11.
some real shit.
He just did 11 months. Congrats.
Today was 11 months for the young man.
We're
Good
on
for you,
weed.
buddy.
Real shit.
Aiden was the only person who moshed at our set at Hardcore Fest. So,
Really?
yeah.
No way.
Dang.
Yeah.
Oh, that was before Tristan moshed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, real shout out to Aiden for being Fetusm's only fan.
The real one.
Yeah.
The goated real one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I liked you.
Did you get moshed, though?
I might have.
Fan.
No. My limbs don't work good.
I get it. Mine too. I'm getting too old to mosh
Shut the fuck up.
and fat.
I don't think I've ever moshed, actually.
Speaking of fat homie,
Dude.
we gotta talk about fat homie real quick.
Yeah, that was just like a joke that Brian and I came up with. Which,
Well, I mean,
like,
I care more about the band.
so I got to give you some context on where the name came
Okay,
from
yeah,
because
that's
it's
fine.
really funny.
I'm gonna grab another bubbler.
Enjoy.
Should we pause?
Fuck no, keep going. Y'all can watch me get this bub.
Yeah.
Cool. Can you grab me your love and affection from there too? Anyways, all right. Thank
the
you.
tea's in the fridge on the way out.
Yeah. So the name Clean Defeat was like doing like a small tour. And
Yes.
Rig Time played for like I think
you're
3 of
offered.
the shows we were doing. And we were playing at Peoria and a band called Hostages there. And
Love hostages. Shout out hostages.
Fucks. Shout out Hostages.
Shout out Tyler Hale.
Yeah,
Shout out Brent.
Tyler.
Shout out everybody else in the band because I can't remember everyone's names right now and I feel like a dick.
I'm just going to take a
Eric
guess.
and Brandon.
Shout out Eric and Brandon.
There you go.
I'm just going to take a guess that the shout outs, including the one I just did, is at 45.
Not far off. Yeah.
Just taking a guess.
Dude,
Yeah.
shout outs.
Tyler was like, we got merch in the back, and we got extra big sizes for all the fat homies. And like, under my breath, like not thinking anyone's like even listening to me, like just talking to myself. I'm like, I'm a fat homie. And Brian was like right in front of me, and he thought that was the funniest thing he's ever heard in his life.
I remember Brian. I think we were at like a spread thin practice or something, and he's like, he was telling us the fat homie story, and he's like, he could barely get it out. He was laughing so hard.
Yeah, so that's where the name came from. But it's gonna be a beatdown band, and only fat people are allowed to join.
Dude,
Nice.
fat homie and shots fired.
Yeah, dude, if you're skinny, get the fuck out
I'm
of my
working
face.
on it. Like, well, that's the other thing too. Is because we've mentioned before we're coworkers at the same job place now, and I just joined his building.
Yeah.
And so I've actually lost I think like 7-8 pounds since I've gone over to your building. So
Nice.
Dude, I have definitely lost weight since moving to this job. Because now there's not just food right there, and I don't get bored.
Yeah, 'cause you worked at a kitchen, didn't you?
And like everywhere in that. Yeah.
well, and then Quick Trip, you got access to that food all the time.
Yeah, like you're just eyeing up the hotspot, and you're like, fuck, I could eat one of them right now.
I
The
get
whole
it, man.
hotspot.
Yeah, I used to work at a liquor store, and it was the same way there.
You just
Like,
eat the food.
Yeah. No,
I don't think liquor's food.
I'd buy a lot of alcohol when I worked there. So, like,
Oh, so you have a problem.
yeah. No, it wasn't like, buy like a 750 and drink it every night. It's just like, I'm try this new flavor. And
I don't
then
know
I
what
would
that
spend
fucking
way too
means.
much money there. Flavor? You not heard that word before?
No.
Oh, okay.
Not once. What does it mean?
Different kind of stuff. I don't know, man. Anyways, what were we talking about?
Fat homie.
Oh yeah, fat
We're
homie.
talking about fat people merch.
Yeah, I don't know how serious the band is going to be. It's mostly just a joke that Brian and I came up
Gonna be
with.
canceled.
Yeah.
It's not to be mean. We're talking about ourselves.
Well, yeah, I'm fat as fuck. But yeah, we're just like eating Indian food like 2 weeks ago, and we're like, we should make a beatdown band called Fat Homie. Get
Brian
over-
can't even be in it.
He's gonna ghost write drums.
Oh,
But
is
then
he
we're
like
gonna-
honorary?
Yeah, but we're gonna kick him out for being too skinny.
That's actually really progressive.
Yeah.
Dude, that's how we'll get first Lamb Goat article.
Absolutely.
If Fat Homie kicks out Brian Fleming of Rig Time for being too skinny. That'd be really funny.
It would.
Oh, man. Could you imagine? I don't have to
Yeah.
because it's going to be real.
So we covered. Oh yeah, we never because I mentioned backtrack, and I was gonna tell him what behind the nut. 'cause
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. We were shouting out Long Island.
Yeah, we were doing way too many shout outs.
Dude, I'll derail this podcast. You gotta keep me in control.
So I'm glad you mentioned that word too, because the most deraily podcast I've ever been a part of, and I love these guys to death, and they even admit it. Like, we used to have a podcast, Fort Kickass Podcast. There's a house in La Crescent, Minnesota, that I have deemed Fort Kickass, which it comes from
Archer, if no one knew
Archer.
that.
Love that show. Archer.
Incredible show. Shout out
Shout out
Archer.
Archer.
Shout out FX.
Shout out H.
Lipton
John
Purely.
Benjamin. H. John Benjamin, one of my favorite voice actors.
I want him to outlive me. So that way when I die, he has to narrate my funeral.
That's actually fair. Actually,
Like, I'm going
I
to live
wonder-
a full life.
I wonder if that's something
He
you
just
could,
can't die.
I wonder if that's something you could do on Cameo.
Oh, most definitely.
How much do you have to pay for a funeral
He's
reading?
definitely the type of guy who would find that super
Oh, he would be like,
hilarious.
yeah, we could do that.
Yeah.
He would probably love Behind the Nut.
Yeah. So we were part of this podcast called Fort Kickass Podcast, and it was basically the Seinfeld of podcasts. It went nowhere. It didn't. There was no actual direction. It just existed.
At least the people on Fort Kickass are funny.
Yeah. Oh my God, it was absolutely hilarious though. So our good friend Ethan, I'm pretty sure it was Ethan that came up with this because if it wasn't, please correct me. But we would have a guest. We'd have a guest come on, and they would bring their dad, and the segment would be we would talk to them about what was it like to create your son or daughter.
What was the weather like?
What was how did that feel? Knowing. So that was like the whole behind the nut. Like tell us the story behind the nut.
Damn, dude, we'll get my dad on here.
Where is he right now?
Probably at home, watching movies.
What's his favorite movie?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't honestly know that.
Top
I know
three?
his favorite band,
What's his favorite band?
Wasp.
Really?
That's a
Nice.
good answer.
Yeah. Wasp,
Wasp.
Asia, and probably Metallica would be third.
So he's a
Goddamn.
hair metal dude.
Yeah.
So is my dad. And it's funny because he's bald.
Yeah. My dad's not.
No?
No, he's got a full head of hair.
So you we had just mentioned it earlier about like favorite movies. So you had made this. I'm pretty sure it was you.
Yeah.
This like really huge grid of like your top 100 movies.
Yeah, I try and do it like every 2 years, but I've been falling off recently.
I've fallen off because I never even started. So you gave me the idea like I should actually do that at some point.
I've never watched a movie.
It's cool.
You should.
It's cool.
You should
No.
watch. You should watch movie. It came out last
watch
year.
movie.
Watch movie.
I have to watch TV. Now I have to watch movies.
There's a lot
Yeah.
of seasons of TV.
There were so many seasons of TV. I'm not caught up.
So top 5 currently right now.
For me?
Yeah, it doesn't have to be in order.
So top 5 really doesn't change super much. But it's Clerks is number...
What was that noise?
What was the noise?
Wait a goddamn minute. I'm glad we heard it.
It's not turning on.
Is it dead? It shouldn't be. Are both power strips active? Oh, that one wasn't on. Oh, you just turned it back off.
That was a good catch.
Because there should be a blue light coming on that box.
There's the blue light.
I'm so glad we heard it this time and I don't have to make another drawing.
At least we got audio still.
Actually, if you want, I can make the drawing of you. Yeah, I'll make a drawing. We'll put it in here until the video comes back.
That'd be fun.
That'd be really funny to have another one.
Hey.
It's going again?
It's on.
Probably have to make a new recording to splice them.
Yeah.
Movie recording starts with movie button. Still image shooting is invalid in this mode.
That little red button off to your right. It's very tiny. Yeah, that's the noise.
We're good again.
All right.
We're good.
Well, now you can see us again.
You left off on Clerks.
Oh yeah, favorite movie, Clerks.
So that's easier editing for you. Easier editing for you.
And the best part is, I'm going to keep everything we talked about during that being down.
Cool.
And now we're back to normal. You can see us again.
That's me doing like the clapper for the movie.
That's an STD.
Yeah. Yeah, Clerks.
Yeah, top 5. It never changes.
Number 1, because I used to work as a gas station clerk. That was my first job.
Nice.
That movie, I love it 'cause it's just about nothing, which is like my favorite genre of movie.
Yeah.
It's just like movies about nothing.
Love 4Kick-Ass podcast.
Yeah, you really would have liked it.
Most definitely, yeah.
It's like this, but way more
At
derailed
least
all the
this
time.
has like
Cool.
direction a little bit. So
Yeah.
we have questions, we have answers.
Yeah, we zigzag, but then we get back.
With 4Kick-Ass, it was who do we hate this week?
It's Alec.
No. That's every week.
Yeah. Number 2,
Number 2.
My Cousin Vinny.
Can I take a
Good
guess
one.
for the
Good
third one?
one.
Yeah,
The Mummy, 1999.
that is the answer.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah.
No
I
way.
know him.
Oh, you do?
100%, yeah.
That's a good one too.
Yeah, phenomenal movie.
Rachel Weisz.
Yeah, oh my God.
It's one of the best movies.
She's damn fine, especially in that movie. I mean, she's still fine. Shout out Rachel Weisz.
Yeah,
Shout
yeah.
out Rachel.
But she's damn fine in that movie.
Counterpart 2.
Yeah. Number 4 would be Death Proof.
Okay.
Tarantino. Love that movie. 'Cause it's like shitty, but like intentionally shitty, you know? Number 5 would be probably The Favorite.
Is that the title of the movie?
Yeah.
The Favorite.
Yep.
Never heard of it.
It's great. It's Yorgos Lanthimos. He, one of my favorite directors right now. He also did like The Lobster and
Oh, okay.
Killing of a Sacred Deer, and then Pretty Things was his newest movie, one that just came out. But it's about like 2 women competing to be like the favorite of the Queen of England,
Oh, wow.
to like be like her right hand
I
woman.
just caught the last part of The Lobster, and I
Great
was
movie.
like, yeah, and I was like, oh, well, I should probably watch this when it's all the way through it. So, still,
What's your least
Fantastic.
favorite movie?
ooh, I love
Sucker
this.
Punch by Zack Snyder.
Really?
Fucking hate
That's
that movie. Dude.
awesome.
I forgot that was a movie.
I want my fucking 2 hours back of my life after.
Are you
seeing
going to
that
see
movie.
Madam Web? Good. I can't bring myself to go see it.
Have you watched Beau Was Afraid yet?
No.
You haven't? Okay.
I have it downloaded, but I haven't seen it because I've been really slacking off with new movies. Because I've been doing every movie that won like a Best Picture Oscar like in a row. So I started with like Wings in 1928, and I've just been going through the list, and that's been like every movie I've seen.
I have
lately.
this book on my coffee table right now. It's called 1001 Movies You Need to Watch or something like that.
Yeah.
It stops in 2003 because it's like the first edition. I bought it when I was still in high school, and my idea was because I think my first girlfriend at the time in high school, and we had 2 highlighters. Like, I think mine was a yellow highlighter and hers was pink, and then we would try to like go through the book together. And like the relationship didn't, last obviously. So like we never made it all the way through. But I bought it again, and I was like, you know what? I kind of want to do this on my own, or we'll catch up to whatever it is. But yeah, just like I want to go through and actually, I think I'm wondering if that's actually in the book too, the Wings one you mentioned.
Oh, Wings, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, won Best Picture, the first movie to ever win that at the Oscars. It's like the one of 2 silent films to ever win an Oscar. The other being The Artist, 2009. It's about like World War I pilots.
That's awesome.
Pretty interesting movie. Also really long.
Yeah.
It's like 3.5 hours.
So the reason I brought up Beau Was Afraid is I'm not gonna spoil it, but for me, and I'm directly copy pasting something that Meat Canyon said about this video or about that movie, and it's dead on with me. 2 ratings. There's the 9 out of 10 rating, and then the 2 out of 10.
Okay.
So, because you know, I don't want to like influence your way of watching or anything, but like one rating was like, holy shit, this is amazing, and the other side was like, what the fuck, you know? So
Yeah, Ari Aster's movies will do that to you.
yeah, I love Hereditary and Midsommar.
I think I like Midsommar more. That's
Yeah.
definitely that one's in my top 10.
Yeah,
I think you and I talked, probably at work, you and I talked about this. I can't remember,
Probably.
but I love Hereditary. I've seen it several times. I've seen Midsommar once.
Yeah.
It's a great movie. But I haven't brought myself to rewatch it because, like,
It's a hard movie.
man, that movie fucked with me.
Did you watch the theatrical or the director's cut?
Honestly, I have no idea.
Okay.
Whatever the DVD version I bought was.
Probably the theatrical. I think the director's cut's better. It's like half hour longer.
Okay.
It adds more like to Danny and Christian's relationship. So you
A
can
little
kinda
more
see that.
context.
Yeah. Just more characterization. It really makes the film better. I don't think like the theatrical is bad necessarily, but I do think the director's cut's way better.
Maybe I need to watch that version then.
I don't know if
Because I
it's-
enjoyed it, but man, yeah, that's like
I actually have
that's a heavy movie.
I have a Plex server if you want. I can invite you to it.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I've got like 2,000 movies on there.
That's only a couple.
Yeah,
I'm probably gonna watch like 2 movies out of it.
cool.
I don't watch
I
movies.
think I have movie and I've got movie 2 on there.
you got movie 3.
I got movie 3.
Don't lie.
Terrible fucking movie, by
I've
the way.
heard. I've heard.
God awful.
So it seems like you kind of fancy yourself. If you got this big like long list of movies, it seems like you fancy yourself as a cinephile in a sense. So that being said, and I know I've mentioned this, and
I feel like it's just because the battery is so low.
Video going out.
So, what's your favorite kind of movie?
Favorite kind of movie?
Yeah, like what's your favorite movie genre? Well, Clay fixes this.
I'd say like anything like period related.
Okay.
Just like about women's menstrual cycles.
I knew you were gonna be gross.
High, allow it to cool. That is why it's dying.
That's weird.
Maybe because it's charging and recording at the same time.
Yeah, but we didn't have that problem this way before. It is a little warm in here, though. I will be honest.
This content is pretty hot. So
Internal tab high.
There's a little switch lever thing behind you on the wall. The one that's all the way down. Turn it up. We might just have to go no video for the rest of this. I'm sorry, gamers.
that's fine.
Yep. I just figured that way it would at least get air moving.
But
So now we've troubleshot.
Well, for anyone that's seen the last few technical errors, we're really sorry. Obviously, we're relatively new to this stuff, but in terms of like long form filming, but we're getting there.
Yeah.
It'll be fixed. It'll be better once we're
get like a full setup.
yeah, once
like
we're back to
permanent.
our proper setup. 'Cause obviously, we already said, this ain't the normal
Mid-move.
proper setup. This is mid move.
So
I
you're also
almost
with-
canceled this.
Me as the fans will tell you it's okay.
Thank God.
I
Thank
speak
you
for
so
all
much.
the fans.
It makes me feel better because
Thank
I
you
do. I stress out about it a lot because, like, I just want people to like it.
Well, that's the thing with like any amount of art. Like everyone,
Yeah.
like you always judge your art way harder than anybody else.
Yeah,
ever could.
because, like, I mean, I don't know. We have a lot of fun doing this.
Yeah.
I do.
And, like,
I absolutely
I
do.
hope people like can tell that we have fun doing this because this is literally all Clay and I talk about every week. Is like
Yeah.
the next episodes that we're gonna do and like
and like
our plans.
me scouting out like who's it gonna be, you know,
Yeah, and
so-
things we want to talk about and stuff. So like, it bums me out when dumb shit like this happens. So we're gonna come with a solution.
But here's the best part. Like I equate this to like, your first 2 years of playing guitar, you don't know how to do a fucking pitch harmonic.
right.
And then the day that you do and you're like, "Oh my god, that's all it was." And now this is
Yeah.
this was our pitch harmonic.
Yeah, this was like, oh, okay, we know what's happening.
Now we just need to make sure that the battery stays cool somehow.
Yeah, I'm gonna put ice cubes in there.
That's how
You're
you
gonna
do it.
put a
person.
violent, you're gonna put a violent rapper
Yeah.
into the
He gonna keep it
camera?
cool.
Yeah, dude.
Sorry,
But no, so
shout out Ice Cube.
shout out.
Shout out Ice Cube. One of my first rappers I ever listened to.
That's
I love
legit.
Cube.
Yeah.
Still in my top 3 rappers. Honestly,
What's your number one?
Kendrick.
Nice.
It's like Kendrick, Gambino, Cube, Slug from Atmosphere, and then five changes. But right now it's like probably Five Dog or Q-Tip. They're both good.
My number one, probably my grandma.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
She spitting rhymes.
Christmas gifts.
Get the fuck out of here.
She's a good rapper.
Trying to be vulnerable over here. Tell you things that make me.
I don't care what makes you happy.
She uses so little Scotch tape. I'm
She's
impressed.
so brave.
She's the best rapper I know.
God.
Anyways,
God bless.
what's your favorite band, Alex?
My favorite band?
Yeah,
Like current favorite?
Yeah,
or
right
should I
now.
do like a top 5?
all-time top 5.
All-time top 5.
All-time top 5. Wow.
I'm interviewing you on your podcast.
See,
Okay.
this is what I like. I
like
like
that.
when the guest starts grilling us.
Yeah. So I'd say right now,
Yeah.
number 1 hasn't changed in a very long time. Counterparts. Favorite band. That band probably means the most to me. Just everything. Love them. Beartooth. This now it's not in order. I just want to say, Counterparts is absolutely number 1.
Beartooth's Sick EP, fucking phenomenal.
Dude, Beartooth, Sick EP and the Disgusting LP are 2 of the best, like, heavy records for that type of heavy in general. Love it. Like, Disgusting, that was like the album that really, really like shaped me and kind of helped me like feel normal about feeling shitty, kind of a thing. I don't care about anything they put out in the last couple of years.
I haven't listened to anything after Sick, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, the Aggressive wasn't great. It had a couple songs that were sick. Whatever one came after that, it was like an orange album. I think it was Disease or something.
I think so, yeah.
It's got a couple cool songs.
Yeah.
And then the one after that, Below, that album was pretty cool, but it started to get pretty generic. And then this latest one, you know, I'm glad the man's happy. I'm glad that he's doing well and he's feeling better about life. I don't fucking care. These songs aren't good. They're just not good. And then Metallica is up there. Ooh. This is where it gets tough because like it alternates a fair bit. I want to say, going off of like most listened things right now, I'd probably go Twitching Tongues, and then Weekend Nachos.
Okay.
Nice.
That's like, this has been like the steady rotation for quite a while.
yeah.
Actually, 5 could switch out with the Acacia Strain as well.
Okay, Strain Fox, dude.
It's crazy because the first time I ever heard Acacia Strain, fuck you, camera.
All right. All right. Camera's out. I'm not getting back
Yeah,
up.
I ain't doing that shit.
So, but the point is, we figured it out.
Yeah, so we'll be better soon.
Audio only.
No, the first time I discovered the Acacia Strain, I was at Best Buy when you could still buy CDs.
Yeah.
Wow, crazy.
Yeah.
And I saw Coma Witch had just come out,
Oh, great album.
the green one.
Yeah.
I remember because I would like go on YouTube quick and just like hear like a preview of a song just so I was like, oh, okay, do I want to buy the album or not, kind of a thing. And I heard a clip and I went, I don't know if I can listen to this. Like it didn't like scratch the right itch until years later.
Yeah.
And I want to say I didn't like fully get into the Acacia Strain until they were starting to release Slow Decay.
Great album.
And then I went back.
I actually had a
all the
similar
way.
experience with the Acacia Strain.
Yeah?
I first heard them, I want to say like 2007, 2008.
Yeah.
And I just, I don't know, they just didn't do it for me.
Yeah, like it
back
just
then.
didn't scratch that
There
itch.
was,
Yeah.
see, that's the first time I ever heard Drop F.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I was like, I don't know if this is right. You know? But yeah, it's like, for me, like, I love the Acacia Strain now. Probably my favorite merch that I've ever, like,
Dude, they
purchased in my entire
always
life.
have incredible.
They always have the
merch.
best merch. But, like, it took me a while to, like, actually, like, kind of develop that taste.
Yeah, I don't know why. Because like now, like it's like top rotation.
Yeah.
I think part of it too for the Acacia Strain is like the personalities. Like when you realize like, you know, Vincent and Devin are just the most hilarious, like kind people on the planet. Like that's cool.
Yeah.
I think it clicked for me when I saw them live, actually. Because I went to, excuse me, my first like year in Houston, I went to show at another venue called the Warehouse, actually, but it's the Warehouse Live down
Yeah.
in Houston. And it was I went for Stray for the Path because I was the only band I like knew on the bill at the time. But it was them, Harm's Way, Terror, and the Acacia Strain.
Damn, that's a lineup.
Yeah, I didn't know any of them
Really?
before that show except for Stray from the Path.
What year would this have been?
2011.
Oh, okay. So this was before like Stray kind of blew up.
Yeah, it was like right after Make Your Own History, which
Damn.
that album is still my favorite.
That's
one
a
by
great
them.
album.
Yeah, but then I saw them and the Acacia Strain just fucking like blew me away at that show, and then I went home and like downloaded everything.
Yeah, I
had
think
out
the
at
way
time.
that they really like got me was seeing them at Warped Tour 2017. I think. I think that seems right.
Milwaukee or could be.
Would have been Shakopee.
Okay.
Because that was the show where someone crowd surfed corn dogs up to Vincent.
Fuck yeah, dude.
And I was just like, man, this shit's crazy. I was like, this is nuts. And I wasn't even like actively like watching. I was like, just kind of like strolling by.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's pretty fucking crazy.
Yeah, they're sick.
Nice.
What's your top?
Oh, my top?
Yeah.
If I can trigger the gent shitposting community.
You mean Johnny?
Sleep Token, Periphery, Deftones, Michael Jackson, In Flames.
I think you just triggered our bot.
I love Deftones.
Yeah,
Deftones fuck.
Deftones has not. That's been in the top 5 consistently. Like I've swapped out. Like if that's currently, like if I had to sit down and do like an all time, it would probably be like Rage Against the Machine, Tom Petty, Korn would probably be in there as well because they're the whole reason I have a 7-string. God, who else? Because like I'm thinking back to like why I was getting into music in the first place. In Flames was a big turning point for me. So In Flames has not changed, and yeah, I think if I didn't already mention Deftones, for this second part for all time, then yeah, probably Deftones too. But yeah, like
Those all make a lot of sense.
yeah, no,
Like it definitely does.
well, it's like, I mean, because I know we've talked before about me being from Bremerton, and there's like nothing but like, nothing to discredit Bremerton, but like there's nothing but punk bands, out there. And I like punk music, but it wasn't what was like, getting me like all rustled up,
Fair.
Like the things that were rustling me up were like,
Your jimmies weren't being rustled.
yeah, they were not being rustled. So it was, I wanted the really, detuned guitars. I wanted a lot of distortion and gain, and it just wasn't happening in my hometown. So, and like I said, like punk music, like rock and roll, but I needed something heavier. So, but yeah, that changes all the time.
That's when you found Bruce Springsteen.
Because but on paper, Bring Me the Horizon should be on there too, because they're
I
the
love
whole,
that band.
yeah.
Favorite Bring Me the Horizon record.
Oh,
Suicide Season.
Yeah.
There was a hell.
I want to say There Is a Hell is my favorite, and then Suicide Season.
Yeah.
For me, it's Suicide Season.
Yeah, they're
Straight up.
They're very, very close for me.
I also really like Amo though.
That is, I don't want to say least favorite because that like kind of sounds like I don't like it, but it's definitely like the one I listen to the least.
Do you listen to Post Human more?
I do.
Really?
Yeah, I love Post-Human.
Especially
find myself
Kingslayer
listening
with
to-
Baby Metal. That song's so good.
I find myself going to Amo more.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Almost good when you're like, oh, this is Bring Me the Horizon. I think my favorite off that one is what is it called? It's the one with Grimes on it. Nihilist Blues. That's what it
Yeah.
is. I think that's my
favorite's that is it
Sugar Honey,
Ice and
Iced
Tea.
Tea. Yeah,
Yeah, because it's shit.
yeah.
Yeah, Suicide Season's my favorite, but lately I've been listening to a lot of That's the Spirit.
Oh, dude, I love that album too.
Yeah.
I remember when that came out and everyone was like, "Oh man, I fucking suck."
I definitely didn't like it at first, but just because like I was I wanted like Suicide Season stuff back, and I'm
Yeah.
still salty they weren't doing it anymore.
I liked it at first, but I didn't like it in the way I do now.
Yeah, for sure.
I enjoyed it, but I find it way more enjoyable now that they've gone further in that direction.
Yeah, the guitar tones on like I said, for me it was There's a Hell, but it's just squeaked by Suicide Season for me because they're so right next to each other.
To me, they could be the same album.
They could be.
Like they could just be one huge album.
Yeah.
But yeah, Suicide Season was another huge turning point. Funny story. Suicide Season is probably the reason I'm sober, actually.
Yeah.
And it's because, oh my God, this is such a stupid story. I'm gonna try and make this as short as I possibly can. I promise. I'm working on Hot Topic, and our good friend Cody Testa who I've never met before.
Shout out Cody
Testa.
Testa.
Cody Testa. We're pointing at the camera. That's not even on.
We've never met you. We're all pointing.
We all just pointed to a camera that's turned off right now.
Here, let's all
For
point at it
the-
right now,
for
and
all
this is
the
going to be the
listeners.
picture that gets drawn.
It's not even on. You can't even see.
No.
Damn it, Alex.
I'm
Anyways.
so sorry.
No, it's funny. So Cody, who at the time I've never met before, comes in and he buys a Suicide Silence CD.
Oh yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, I should probably listen to this band. Well, at the time I was like, my significant other and I had just moved to the area, and I was trying to get as many jobs as I possibly could to afford to move out of where we were at the time, because it was with her dad. So I got a job at Walmart, and my shift at Walmart ended, and so I'm driving home. It's like 3 a.m. because it was like a third shift type of deal. And the DJ at the time was like, hey, no one's listening right now, so I'm going to put on something that I want to play. And he's like, if you want to see this band live, they'll be at the Lacrosse Center in 2 days. This band's called Suicide Silence. Here's the song Bludgeon to Death. And so he plays Bludgeon to Death. I pull over and I'm like, what the fuck am I hearing right now? Because I was just such a straight butt rocky kind of a kid at the time. And so I was like, this kind of blows me away. I like this. It's the first time I ever heard like deathcore that like, I love this, So I go to work, I like pick up the CD, I'm like, all right, I'm into these guys. And then it turns out, instead of, because I heard the band Suicide Silence, I did not buy Suicide Silence. I bought Suicide Season.
Oh, man.
So, and then it was also, like fast forward, flipping through all the pages really quick. I'm not sober. And then all of a sudden I'm like, hey, I should probably get sober, because I met Ethan and I'm hanging out with good people at the time. And I researched band members from Bring Me the Horizon. Well, Curtis Ward had just left the band, and they had just got Jonah Weinhofen as their guitar player.
Shout out Jonah Weinhofen.
Shout out Jonah
Dude,
Weinhofen.
shout out Jonah.
I actually probably could shout him out, because I don't think he'll ever watch this or listen to this, but if he does, I love you to death.
I love I Killed the Prom Queen.
Yeah, Prom Queen is just amazing. So I researched Jonah, and I'm like, oh, this dude is straight edge. I should research more straight edge, people. And so that's kind of like what led me to be straight edge, is like, I don't smoke cigarettes anymore. I'm not to drink, so I'm going to be a good influence. And so, it was, this guy was a good influence. And then, who else was it? Davey Havoc was straight edge. And then there was like
Vegan too, I'm pretty sure.
yeah. So, and then also Tim McIlrath from Rise Against, straight edge and vegan. Jonah Weinhofen, straight edge and vegan. So there's a lot of more out there than I thought there were. But anyways, yeah, it was one of those like, oh, well, I can latch onto that. So that's why I'm sober, is because I bought the wrong goddamn CD.
Cool.
So
They're both good CDs.
They're both
yeah.
great, yeah.
No, they're fantastic. Are we running low on time?
1 second. Yeah, we should probably jump to the
Let's do our last
little
bit.
segment here.
So
Not to cut things short.
not to cut it
but
short, because we'll do this again when we are a little bit more prepared and when the camera fucking works. Zach,
Yeah.
today Alex asked you a really important question.
Yeah,
I did.
Your favorite bands. And
it's a weird grouping.
yeah, it was a great grouping,
Yeah.
because this allowed me, I don't know if you've seen previous episodes or not, but this is the part of the show.
I've seen all episodes.
You have?
It's
So
not
you
a
know
movie,
what's coming
so
up?
he hasn't
Yeah.
seen it.
Nice. Do you know what band I picked?
I'm gonna guess my favorite one.
Which is?
Typo Negative.
You guessed, yep.
Yeah.
I'm
that's
glad,
it.
because I was going to suggest you pick Typo.
Yeah.
That's number
But
one
I was
band.
going to let you pick.
All right, so you know the rules. You know how this works.
Yep. You made it up, Chat GPT, and then real, right?
Or yeah, it's so. But that's the thing. Is it all? Did I mix it up this time? Or
Yeah.
or
But those are the three options.
those are 3 options.
We should
So,
add a secret fourth option.
I should do that. So instead of just 3, so it makes it more.
We're going to add a secret fourth option, but it's not really going to be a secret. I'm going to make it up.
Yeah, that's not very secret anymore.
I've got a secret. It's on the tip of my tongue. It's on the back of my lungs.
Hey, brought it
And-
back around to Suicide Season.
Bringing it back around again.
You were going to say Suicide Silence.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, you were.
Because
I
they're
could-
so similar, and we were talking about both.
Anyways, all right. So, made up, ChatGPT, or are these real? For Typo Negative. Blackened skies, bleeding hearts, in the shadows we fall apart. Pale moonlight whispers cold, in the darkness our stories told.
That sounds like something you made up.
Final answer?
Yes.
Chat GPT.
Okay. All right.
That makes sense.
It's a little too like nice to be Peter Steele.
It's very way too nice to be Peter Steele. All right. So, moving on to the second one. As we combust, yeah, we on fire. I feel you shake so deep inside. Oh, scream my name and squeeze me tight. I'll do anything to make you.
That's typo.
That's you.
Final answer?
Yeah.
Those are real Typo Negative lyrics.
I know them better than you.
What song is that?
That song is Be My Druidess from October Rust.
Okay.
All right. And then the
know more than
last
you.
one. I'll let him have a pass on that one.
Yeah. It's just like it was poetic until he gets to the come.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I'll do anything to make you come. And I was
Yeah.
like, well, and to be fair,
That's
it's
Pete though. That's classic Pete.
Classic Pete.
And to be fair, it is spelled C-O-M-E. So, all right. And the last one. Unsuccessfully coping with the natural beauty of inflicting in decay, she's rotten to the core.
Well, unsuccessfully coping with the natural beauty of infidelity is the name of one of their songs, but I don't think that's a lyric from that song.
So then
That's you.
that is Chat GPT.
Okay.
So I didn't make any of these up.
Damn. Okay.
So yeah, that was really good.
That was a good.
I like that.
I finally got something right.
Yeah, I'm glad you got one. So
I love typos so much.
yeah,
Apparently
no.
not.
My dad, like, yeah, I know. I'm a fake fan,
Poser.
buddy. I don't even know the lyrics to my band songs, like let alone like somebody else.
Your bands don't have words.
And that's the thing, though, too, is the reason I picked, like the whole lyric aspect is like I feel like musicians, not a lot of them actually pay attention to lyrics.
No, it's like guitar.
It's same. Thank
Yeah.
you. My fiance is all lyrics because
You and I should do a guess a lyric between the two of us, because I feel like I could get all of them right.
I like that. I'm just gonna pick nothing but counterparts.
Yeah, do it, and I will tell you that you're right, like what it is every time. I promise.
I've never listened to a Counterpart song.
That's crazy because you were in a band with
know.
Poor Rev.
Everyone always like, oh, you guys sound like Counterparts. I'm like, I'm sure we do.
Because that's
Never heard them.
one of Mark's favorite bands.
Yeah, it is.
And it's funny, I didn't find Counterparts because of Mark,
Yeah.
but then Mark and I bonded over that.
I only joined Teenagers just because Al and them needed a guitarist.
That's
I was
fair.
like, hey, do you want to play guitar? I'm like, nothing else going on.
I'm not doing anything that week.
I've never listened to melodic hardcore, but how
Now
hard
here
can
you
it
go.
be?
Not very,
Yeah,
Cool.
that's true.
unless you wanted to.
Well, I think that we should probably wrap it up.
Yeah, I had a
'cause-
really bad time.
No, it was awful.
This is fucking the worst.
Thank you for the 0 out of 10 episode. We appreciate
Yeah, I'm thinking the camera stopped working because he's too hot.
We
That's
appreciate
true.
the diversity. We have our first 11 out of 10 episode, like 4 weeks ago, and this is the first 0 out of 10.
Cool.
Thank
appreciate
God we're making progress.
I'm glad I could really bring down the average.
Bring down the house. no, this was fucking cool.
I had a nice time. Earlier, we got to eat some pizza.
Yeah.
We got bummed out because we couldn't get ramen like we were gonna.
Yeah, he was hyping up this ramen place
Yeah.
for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'm pissed.
Yeah.
So before we end real quick, I just have to explain why I'm
I think
angry.
you're still talking to the camera.
Yeah, I am. It's not on, and I'm talking to this fucker. Talking to you. So part of the plan today was we were gonna get ramen and sushi, and do this and just have a nice time hanging out. And I'm like, all right, let's order our food, and I'll go pick it up. Closed. And I'm like, all right, let's try the next one. Closed.
Everything's closed on
Try the
Sundays.
next thing, a Mexican restaurant. Closed. Next thing, I don't remember what it was, but it was open.
It was that Chicago pizza.
No, it was J Mart,
Oh, yeah.
but that wasn't really food.
You guys didn't want to drive.
No, Jay didn't want to.
That's what it was. Yeah. I remember somebody
Because
didn't.
someone was here fixing my internet since we moved, and then Slice of Chicago closed
Closed.
because I just wanted a little bit of Chicago in me. So we got Domino's.
Yeah.
It was great.
That works.
We had a nice time.
It
I had a nice
was
time doing this. Sitting
consistent.
close to my buddy.
Yeah. And I was here too.
No one could see that I did that. They're just gonna hear it. Well, anyways,
Yeah, no, and I mean, until, we get another 2 months, and then you can come back, and
yeah.
Yeah.
we'll have more time. We'll have more actual space.
Yeah,
come
this
back
guy's got to
again.
walk home, so
I'll tell you about all the music I like.
Prom Queen mostly.
Actually, still fucking love that band. Yeah.
Same.
Yeah, one of the first deathcore bands I ever heard.
It's incredible. Well,
All right.
thank you so much for being around.
We're gonna
thank
blast
you all,
off.
especially shout out to Nick Dearman.
Shout out Nick Dearman.
Shout out Nick Dearman. Shout outs.
Shout out to Nick Dearman for the Metallica tier list, and we'll elaborate on that next time. And shout out to Aiden Dearman if he's made
Shout
it
out
this
Aiden.
far.
Yeah, if he isn't asleep yet.
Shout out Tristan, I love you.
Don't shout that one out.
Okay, I take it back.
That one's for me only.
Shout out
Mason Pellinger.
Nathan Bailey Naticus, I love you.
Yeah, that's fair. Shout them out. What else we got?
Shout out
Grimes. Shout out Grimes.
Shout out Grimes.
No. Class Trader.
That's fair.
Shout out yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Conejitos in Milwaukee. Shout out them for feeding me last night.
Hell yeah.
We should just make a band called Shout Out.
Shout out
That's a good
everyone
hardcore band name.
that understands why there was no episode last week. In terms of tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because I moved and this also almost didn't happen this episode. So
Yeah.
Shout out Moving.
shout out moving. Shout out U-Haul.
And,
Don't shout out the mobile U-Haul setup on your phone. That sucked.
Yeah, shout out Unsweetened Iced Tea.
Ooh,
Brian
yeah.
Fleming, you'll get that one.
Yeah.
I like unsweetened iced tea.
Me and him love it. We bonded over
Yeah,
it.
probably not.
That's why I brought it today.
And he told me
Shout out
that he
Clay.
was bringing it while you were on the potty. So shout out potty.
That's true.
Body.
Shout out Socks. Shout out Alex.
Shout out, shout out.
Shout out Shay and
This,
Arlo.
this ending has derailed.
Shout out my mom.
So marvelous. Shout out Derailings.
Yeah, shout out derailings.
Another great band name, Derail.
Shout out Selma Hayek for being my sexual awakening.
There we are.
And the final shout out that YouTube video called "Man Gets Hit by a Train," but it's a guy in a Thomas the Tank Engine costume and he starts beating the shit out of his friend on the train tracks.
That's amazing.
Thanks for listening.
12 bear attacks gone wrong.